The Inner Peace Workshop.
Hi again, friends. In our last video, we talked about what the Tao is. In this video, we'll talk about Chapter 2, or opposites. The Tao is still and serene, but to express itself means to have a juxtaposition, something to compare itself to. This gives rise to opposites, or the balance of equal and opposite forces, as in Newton's third law of motion. Opposites must exist. This can be in regards to ideas, like control versus freedom, direction, up versus down, mathematical operations, such as addition and subtraction, or even the mind, open versus closed. The universe cannot exist without opposites, such as polarity. All light, and therefore matter, because matter is made of light, is polarized. All matter is magnetic and dielectric, which are geometric inverses of the other, and each balancing the other. There are no monopoles in the universe. Everything is positive or negative in terms of discharge and charge. The fundamental particle, the proton, is balanced by the charge of the electron, which is not a particle, to form the atom. Being and non-being balancing to create stillness. Let's look at the word atom. A-T-O-M. What happens when we switch a single letter, the O, with the vowel U, A-T-U-M? Atum is a sun god in Egyptian mythology, a creator, the substance from which the universe unfurled. Let's replace the T-O in atom with D-A, Adam. Adam was the first human. His name means to be red, like the leaves in the autumn. The word Adam has the Hebrew word for blood in it, dam. So we, the human race, like Adam, have dam, or red blood in our bodies, connecting all of our tissues and cells. Hydrogen, the first atom in the periodic table of elements, has a pinkish red glow when in a discharge tube. All ideas are connected, just as we are connected, by our unfurling of the universe, atum. The color of our blood, atom, or even the light that is emitted from matter, atom. Our bodies, being composed of matter, are made of light. As these light beings, we have an extraordinary opportunity to observe the universe from a unique perspective, our own perspective, one of polarization. This is significant because, from our point of view, we cannot discount another's perspective on how they observe the universe. Just like you cannot prove or disprove the existence of God, it is a feeling one has, and is a personal relationship one develops with the universe, and ultimately yourself. We are all equally valid in this existence, so being humble allows us to expand and strengthen the bond with nature and each other through this perspective of opposites. Opposites. When beauty is only a masquerade, it is actually ugliness. And goodness, if it is not sincere, is not really goodness. Existence and non-existence are incompatible. The difficult and the easy are mutually opposed. The long and the short, the high and the low, the loud and the soft, the before and the after are all opposites. Each reveals the other. The wise are not conspicuous in their actions or given to much talking. When troubles arise, they are not irritated. They produce but do not hoard. They act but expect no praise. They build but do not dwell therein. And because they do not dwell therein, they never depart. Verse 1. When beauty is only a masquerade, it is actually ugliness, and goodness, if it is not sincere, is not really goodness. This verse is metaphorical. The author is comparing deceit to sincerity by telling us that if we only pretend to be good people, it may lead to dissatisfaction within ourselves. When our words do not match our actions, it causes discontent in others. You may have a pretty exterior, but if your actions are ugly, it makes you unattractive. Say, for instance, that someone were to do you a favor or give you a gift, and then they were to hold it over your head later on. You may feel deceived by that person, as they were expecting something in return for their kindness. If all we are interested in is personal gain, we will never be fulfilled. Service to others is the key to personal fulfillment, as we are all one. Verse 2. Existence and non-existence are incompatible. The difficult and the easy are mutually opposed. The long and the short, the high and the low, the loud and the soft, the before and the after are all opposites, and each reveals the other. Opposites require one another to have meaning. What does right mean without wrong, or left for that matter? You cannot know happiness without having felt sad. The good and the bad give us perspective into how we feel about our own circumstances. Some people may see your situation completely differently from how you see it, which simply means they have an alternate view based on their own experience. Also, the more attached to our perspective, the less receptive we are to criticism. Everyone has something to teach, and if we are open to see ourselves in others and are willing to accept that one's personal way of thinking is not the only way of thinking, we can learn something from everyone. Verse 3. The wise are not conspicuous in their actions or given to much talking. When troubles arise, they are not irritated. The wise man is responding to an arising situation. He is able to see an event before it becomes present because he can read the signs and interpret them to prepare for a probable outcome. He sees the pattern of which road leads to which destination and can construct the best situation for himself when the time arises. He is preparing. He is busy listening to the universe tell its secrets, but one must be present in the moment to be able to receive the information. It's like a whisper that you're intent on hearing and understanding. The more of the time one spends in the current moment, the less time there is to be aggravated and stressed about the past, which is gone, or the future, which is not yet real. The answer is most often right before our eyes, but hidden by our ego. And as the ego fades, we see the world as ourselves, and are therefore compassionate to the world. Verse 4. They produce but do not hoard. They act but expect no praise. They build but do not dwell therein. True fulfillment comes from good deeds. When we give to others, others will give back. This is the flow of the Tao, the in and the out. The more you give the world, the more the world will give back. Being in the natural alignment with the universe is pleasing in and of itself. The ego is not required to feel proud of good deeds, so it is reduced over time. The sage is happy to simply be doing what he loves to do. This may be to build a project, produce art, write poetry, perform on stage, play an instrument. But the true reward is the process of doing, and the outcome of which is something useful to the world. And because they do not dwell therein, they never depart. The sage does not dwell therein, meaning he lets his work go. All things change, so he realizes there is no point in holding on to anything, including himself. This is being like the Tao. The easier one can let go of the world, the closer they come to it. As this may sound contradictory, love is about letting things go, not holding on to them. Unattachment, relinquishment, freedom. If one can live in this way, there is no death. He is prepared to relinquish his body back to the Adama, meaning ground or earth, from which it came. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the presentation on opposites. Let me know in the comments if you have questions, or tell us about a time where you have encountered opposites when speaking to others. And whenever we come into contact with others, always consider that they may have a different point of view. And always remember that the spirit is within you. Thank you.